Step 1 is one of the more time-consuming steps out of the whole training. This step is focus and engagement. Those of you who are wondering what focus and engagement is, well, it is the dog's willingness to interact with you and focus on you for what's next to come. Before starting the focus and engagement training step, you want to find what really motivates your dog, because not every dog is the same. And what I mean by motivation, I mean treats, toys, stuff like that to get them motivated into what you are wanting to do. Engagement is the dog's willingness to be with you and interact with you. And in order for a dog to want to do that, you have to put in your more funner part of yourself and make it as much fun as you can so the dog doesn't grow bored of being with you. Before we go into the steps of this training, keep in mind that you need to build drive and engage with this dog, because not every dog is the same. For example, a high drive dog would need less of you being silly, where a low key dog would need more of you being silly and getting the dog excited. Example is you want to keep your dog on the left side, and you want to keep a steady pace so the dog doesn't feel like, oh, we're just walking. You want to move different directions to keep your dog on the left side and keep it active and interested in you. You always want to reward with a treat and say good boy and girl. This is a more in-depth engagement video. As you can see, Noah is very engaged and happy about his treats. And that's what you want to see in your dog, to be that motivated for their treats and that engaged with you for that motivation. And as you can see, he is staying by my side and focused on me at all times. He also walks with me for that treat. Without engagement, you can't get the focus you want from the dog. Focus is developed through engagement. He or she learns that focus by engaging with you. So without that engagement, you can't expect the dog to be focused on you. Without your dog being focused on you and is focused on something else other than you, your dog isn't listening to you. And that's where that motivation really comes from. So you want your dog to be on its toes at all times to keep that motivation and that fun going. Because without that motivation and that fun, your dog will become bored. A little example is Rosie. She is very motivated by treats. So as you can see, she's very focused on the treats. This is another example of focus. As you can see, he runs off, but he stays looking at me because of the treats. Since every dog is not the same, it is normal for the dog not to get it the first go around or the first two go arounds. So you want to do this step until you feel like the dog is comfortable and understanding, focused and interested in what you are wanting to do. When you begin the sit step, be minded that you cannot just go up to your dog and say sit and expect them to sit. However, some dogs do know a little bit of sit from previous experiences, but most dogs don't. So you want to take the object or the treats and put it over their head and lure them into backing up into the sit position. It is normal behavior for them to not know what's going on at first until you lure it over its head, and then good boy. Walking on a leash is kind of like engagement, but this time you want to correct the dog when he or she pulls or he or she turns the other way and looks somewhere else or jerks you somewhere else. Put the treats or the object to their nose, and you see how she try to eat the treats off the ground. You don't want them to eat the treats off the ground because you want that motivation and focus to come from you and not the ground. Going different directions in this step also helps you too. The most common problem we've seen in training is when a dog gets too excited, he or she wants to jump up on you. And I'm going to show you a little example of how to correct that behavior. This is Marcus. He's one of our jumpers. As you can see, he jumps on me and I move back and I look away from him and I say no, because I'm not giving him the attention he wants. If you give them the attention they want, then they're going to jump harder and they're going to be like, oh, they want to play. So I just back up and I give him attention, and he eventually knows that I'm not going to give him the attention he wants. Keep in mind that not all dogs are the same, and not all dogs are going to learn as fast as others. But keeping them on a steady routine will help them gain that learning and help them process it better than just learning one day and skipping 2 weeks and learning the next.